Nelly B. It's Nelly B. Nelly B back with another story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Story time. Do the light skin face, eh? Do the light skin face, eh?
I want a goodie bag, baby. Big package, hey. How do I manage? Hey, you gon' make me turn savage, hey. Body cause damage, hey. Joanna.
Yes, it's me, Janel Lauren, back again with another video. I'm just gonna hop right into the video, but before I do, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff. So let's hop right into the video. Yo. Whoa. Whoa. This story takes place in the 8th grade. Yeah, it was the 8th grade. It was the end of 8th grade. So I'm gonna name the boy, I'm gonna name him Greg, okay? The boy's name is Greg. So Greg was always in my class, and like at this time I was going to public school, so most people know how public school runs. So we was in living environment. I think it was living environment. It was science, right? Some type of science. And like he would always like try to pick on me, but he was a weirdo. Like he was a weird kid, but he would try to pick on me. Like, what? Are you dumb? So we're in class, and I can't remember what had happened to me, but I had a sling on my arm. So I was injured. And like, y'all know me, there's always something wrong with me. But I was really injured. I was seriously injured. I had a sling on my arm. It was visible to everybody in the class there was something wrong with my arm, right? Keep that in mind. So I remember like I came into class, and oh my God, this story is really starting to hit me now. I came into class and I sat down in his seat because I think like I also didn't have my glasses that day or something like that. And I needed to sit in the front to see. Duh, I can't see far away. So I sat in his seat, right? This was right after lunch. And so it had to be like 5th period. So he comes in the class and he sees me in his seat. And he's tight. So he like get up out the seat. I'm like, no, I'm not moving. I can't see. I'm sitting in your seat. What you mean get up out your seat? Like, is your name on the seat? Like, it was one of those classes, like, it was unassigned, assigned seat. So, you know, you always sit in a chair and it automatically becomes your seat. I get that. Like, he tight, I'm in his seat. But I just told you I can't see. So, get what I'm saying? Like, just go find another seat. Arm that was injured was my left arm. I remember that. And it was an aisle seat. He was really fiending over sitting in this chair. I'm like, boy, if you don't move and go find another place to sit, like, you get me tight. So me and him going back and forth now. I'm on my Rosa Parks. I'm not moving. If you want me to move, you gotta move me. I'm not moving. So he got bold and brazen, and he tried to move me. But the way he tried to move me is where he took it wrong. Remember I said my arm was in a sling, right? This boy takes my arm and goes like that with it. So y'all know, like, I only had one arm. I was disabled. Like, I have a disability. So my first instinct was, all right, the arm that he pulled my arm with, I leaned over and bit him. Like, no skin came off, but let me just keep going so I can explain how bad this bite mark was. This boy is screaming at the top of his lungs while I am holding on to him with my mouth. It wasn't like no baby bite. Like, I bit him. Rrr, like, Pop Smoke be like, rrr. I didn't let go until the teacher came. When the teacher came, I let go of his arm. I see his arm, like, you could see my teeth marks in him. That's how hard I bit him. I was not playing with that boy. I thought nothing was going to happen to me. He had to go to the nurse's office. Big crybaby. Like, all I did was bite you. Ain't nobody care about me and my arm, right? Cool. You know, in public school, they got those phones in the classroom. So, like, the teachers could call, the deans could call. The dean calls. Da-da-da-da. can you send Janel in the office? So I already knew what it was. Like, I bit the boy, I'm probably gonna get detention. The major, like, I don't care. So I go into the dean's office. The dean's name was, we're gonna name him Mr. Charles, right? So Mr. Charles, he's trying to figure out what happened in this situation. Cause you know, a lot of people are bamboozled right now. Like, I just bit a boy. He's like, so like, did you bite him? I'm like, yeah, I bit him because he shoved my arm and you see I'm in a sling. Like my arm was in pain. So my first instinct, I only had one hand, I bit him. Oh well. Then they start asking all these dumb questions like, do you have your tetanus shot? Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, I think so. Like, you know, all I did was like, I just bit him. Like, I didn't think anything of it. Like, I wasn't really thinking when I did it. It was more like I did it in the moment. Like, he was really playing with me. I only had one arm. So I said, okay, he want to play with me. I'm going to bite him. I didn't think of like the repercussions of what was going to happen. If I didn't have my tetanus shot, like I could have gave him like rabies or something like that. Like I could have gave him some type of disease or whatever. I had all my immunizations because, you know, my mother's a great parent and she stays on top of her job. This little boy, he did not have his immunizations. His mother had to come and pick him up. Of course, she's doing a big hoorah-rah because I bit him. Oh, his mother throws a big fit. She want me kicked out of school. She want me this. She want me that. Da, 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 da. So I got in trouble. I understand why I got in trouble, but he should have got in trouble too because if anything, he started this whole thing. Like, he was going at her over a chair. Like, you a boy. He was moving like a girl, a female, over a chair. Like, you could have picked any other chair to sit in. And his breath was kicking. He was on my face. He had just ate that free. I smelled all the free pickles on his breath. My parents had to come up to the school. My mother ain't like my principal. I feel like my mother was up at the school before that, and like her and my principal had got into it. So my mother didn't want to come up because she was like, yo, if I come up there, I'm gonna lose my job. Because she was ready to kill my principal. So my stepfather had to come, right? So he come, we in this big meeting about what's about to happen to me. Like, the chancellor was there. Like, it was mad heads in there. My mom was on the phone. So my stepdad is sitting there, you know, fighting my case for me, being my lawyer. Two options was either get a superintendent suspension or not go on the senior trip. So I'm like, okay, superintendent suspension. Like, I'm going on a senior trip. So a superintendent suspension is basically, I would be suspended for like 120 days. But it doesn't count over the summer, and it was the end of the school year. So it was like I would start high school late. I wasn't thinking about that. Like, I just wanted to go on a senior trip. So I got kicked off my middle school senior trip to Six Flags. My trip was already paid for, I think, too. Like, I really got kicked off the trip. My mother was so mad because not only like it was just me that got in trouble, like he didn't get in trouble for nothing at all. More worried about him and me biting him than what he did to my already injured arm. And like, I think after he pushed my arm or something like that, like I had to go back to the doctor because my arm was like acting up more. My parents, being the good parents that they are, they bought me tickets to go to Six Flags the same day that the senior trip was going, like the senior class was going to Six Flags, right? They took the day off, they rented a car, and I got on all the rides with my friends. And the teachers were hyped that I was there. They were so mad. And what blows minds to this day is my friend went to high school with him. He was going around telling people in the high school and told my friend that I bit him. This girl gonna snap me a picture in one day and was like, is it true, did you bite this boy? And I was like, yes, I bit him and I'm gonna do it again if I see him. I can't believe this boy. Like, this story really blows my mind because it was so unfair. Like, I understand what I did, like I was wilding what I did, but like, this could have all been prevented if he would have never pushed me, shoved me, none of that. This was my very short story time. Well, at least I feel like it's a short story time. So yes, this is my quick story time. I hope that you guys like it. I will be having another story time to do. If you guys have any more like video ideas for me to do, drop them down below. want to put out content that you guys want to see, of course. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, every social media network that there is. And yep, that's about it. See you guys in my next video. Bye.